shout out to Hoops Jargon, man. I'm gonna add you to the crew, man. This crew called Hoops Jargon. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority are all Houston people. So that's
shout out to Hoops Jargon. Shout out to Hoops
Jargon.
What's up, everybody, man? Shout out to Hoop Jargon, man. I know we started about 5 minutes early, but I just couldn't wait to get the stream going. And thank y'all for all y'all who patronize the page. If you've not done so far, please take time to like, comment, subscribe to what I got going, man. Y'all keep the train rolling that is Hoop Jargon. And as I told y'all, I got a surprise for y'all, man. I got a really good show for y'all. For those who understand the importance of historically black college basketball, HBCU, as they say in the streets, man. And this is a guy that I'm bringing on that it means a lot to me personally, because this is a guy I actually played against. And I tell you, I played against NBA players. And so I know some of y'all be thinking that's cap. You know, I'll be out here, in these keyboard warrior streets, as it were. And some of y'all think, I may be making stories up. This is a guy I actually played against and who is a certified swag legend. And I'm going to bring him up, man. There ain't too many 7-footers out in the swag. It's something out there, but all of them can't play. And I'll leave names out of that. But I want to bring him up right now, man. My guy, man, Mickell Gladness, man. Kel, what's up, my man?
What's up? How you doing?
Doing well, man. Man, shout out my boy Pope on here early in the stoop. Yes, sir. Appreciate that, man. Shout out to Hoop Jargon as always. Now I'm going to leave that up, man. I appreciate you. So, Kel, man, first and foremost, where are you residing at now, man? I know you got your start. Well, no, we didn't get to that. Where you living now, bro?
Atlanta, man. I figured me and my wife and I, we always was like, where we gonna live? Like where we gonna settle down there? Because we always around the world, like in different states, that kind of stuff. So we finally decided on Atlanta. Like one year, we just decided, okay, we gonna try Atlanta out, see what it has to offer. Because it's close to home, Alabama, and you can fly anywhere out of Atlanta. So we here in Atlanta, in Chamblee, real close to the city, but not too close because I don't want to deal with all the traffic all the time.
Hey, and I'll tell y'all this, Atlanta traffic is right there with LA and Houston and New York. Atlanta traffic is beastie. I experienced it firsthand, yeah. So you right on point, bro. So, man, I want to give you your proper introduction, man, because, again, I played, I would say in my life, probably about 20, 15 NBA players, and you being one of them. And I got to give you your props because I believe you were a sophomore when I was a senior. And, of course, Mickell, you played at Alabama A&M University in that little middle school gym y'all was in. The dog pound.
They done did some renovation, but it's still the same.
Yeah, renovations, yeah, all that.
Come on, I'm sorry, man. The dome wasn't that great either.
Fair enough. That's fair.
We ain't gonna get
that's fair.
We ain't gonna do that.
That's fair. All right. So, you bust me out. So now, and the reason why I want to give Mickell his props because he led the NCAA in blocks. Was he your sophomore year, right?
Junior year.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So you 1 year behind me. So, and I remember you went on a 2-game blocking spree against us and Texas Southern. You had how many blocks in 2 games?
Because I had 13 in the was. How many?
Like 29. I think it was like 29 blocks.
Yeah. 13. Yeah. So it was 28, 29 in those 2
Yeah, this man had 29 blocks in 2 games, and 2 of them came on your boy. So I'm 6'7". Kel, how tall are you, Kel?
6'11" 3/4.
6'11" 3/4. And here's the thing, man. Mickell ain't the biggest 7-footer, but he long as hell. And he got great timing. And so I got my hook shot blocked. I had my little baby dirt hook. Never got it blocked because I had hops. Got that shit blocked. And I got to give him props. I've never got a hook shot blocked. And yeah. So I learned real quick, man. So,
because, like, everybody's like, oh, yeah, I dunk on you. Like, I can jump this highly, tell me your vert and everything. But you know what I tell them? You got to come to the rim. Like, I don't care what you do. The ball got to come close to the rim.
That's facts. And people don't understand, man, timing is everything. Like, I mean, again, me being 6'7", I probably averaged a block a game my 2 years playing at Prairie View. And it's timing. You learn guys, like like you say, you got to come to the rim at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And either I'm coming hard too at the glass if you're trying to dunk on me, or I'm waiting on your little cadence. You know how it go, Eric. Some people dip, some people do the little doopsy doo. So I'm just waiting on your thing. So you tell me, as a prolific shot blocker, man, what was your way of that made you such a great shot blocker?
Man, I wasn't afraid to get dunked on. That's probably the major thing. Like,
That's
I'm gonna block your shot more than you go. I mean, you might dunk once or twice on me, but I'm gonna block your shot 5 or 6 times. So I mean, the odds are in my favor.
Hey, you know what? All right, I'm glad you see, Mickell, you a pro, and I like that because that's a big thing. Like, it's a stigma about getting dunked on, and a lot of guys don't want that smoke because why? You gonna get clowned if you get dunked on.
Yeah.
But if you just go do your job, I mean, that's part of the game. And I like the fact that you have that mentality because you got to know if you're gonna be a shot blocker, somebody gonna catch you slipping.
Oh yeah.
And you got to just go to the next play. So with that being said, who's somebody that caught you slipping that you remember?
One summer league, Jeremy Tyler called me something nasty. I think I was playing. I'm not sure if I was playing for the Heat summer league team or for the D League Elite, which is G League now. But
yeah.
I came help side like late, and it was. I mean, I jumped regardless when I probably shouldn't have jumped. But yeah, he got me something nasty off baseline. He went by somebody or something like that, and he caught me. But so I mean, like I said, it happens. But I remember a lot of those. If I got dunked on, I remember a handful of those.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. And Jeremy Tyler, if y'all guys don't know, he actually went overseas to he forgoed his last. No, he forewent college. He went to play in Japan, I want to say.
Yep.
Right out of high school.
Yep.
Yeah. So he did the LaMelo Ball thing before that was really a thing. Before Emmanuel Mudiay was, and him and like Brandon Jennings went overseas that senior year. So yeah, no, that's a certified hooper that banged on him. So I would say this, Kale. Now, one of my teammates, Chris Gaines, there was a claim of fame. He claimed he dunked on you, and this was like his thing. He always says, I don't know if you remember it, playing Prairie View, but at Alabama A&M, he said he banged on you.
I see. I don't remember that. Was it like a body to body? Or was like he
Nah, it wasn't nobody to body. It definitely wasn't nobody.
See this was a body. Like I don't remember that. I mean, he might have, but then also again, a lot of people try to use that to be like, I dunked on the NBA player. So I'm not sure. I can't discredit him or not. I don't remember it though.
Well, I like that though. You don't have an ego because your career has went way past that moment. But I remember like after it happened, like he was bringing that shit up all the time. He dunked on y'all. I was like, I guess you did. I don't really remember it, but I remember you banged that game. So yeah, man. So I gotta give you a lot of kudos for playing at Alabama A&M because ain't nothing going on around there but basketball and football.
Yeah.
So man, you tell me this, man, and for my LaMelo Ball fans around, Alabama A&M was the lone school that offered him a scholarship, man. So you tell me a little bit, how was life in your career at Alabama A&M? And Pope, I got you with your question, brother.
I enjoyed it, man. It was my coming from junior college. I didn't get the looks that I wanted. Well, actually, I left junior college early because I felt disrespected by a coach. It was a plethora of things that made me leave junior college early. But coming out of there after my freshman year, I didn't get the stuff I thought I was gonna get. I didn't get the offers, the looks, but A&M was there. I mean, somebody that's always been told to me is, don't go to who you want to go to who wants you. So when I went there, they treated me well. Like soon as I got there, Coach Pettaway, he treated me. I started. I didn't play like the whole game as like a season starter or whatever, but he put me right in the game immediately. My sophomore year, as soon as I got there. So that any coach that showed they had confidence in me like that, you get rewarded because I feel confidence, and when I feel confidence, I play better because I know you got my back. So I mean, I had to get used to a lot of things, but playing Division I ball and had somebody having confidence in me like that, and that showed a lot.
And I appreciate that because and I want to get to my man Pope's question too. Let me get back to solo view because I mean a lot of people don't understand the HBCU experience, man, and that's one of the things, man. You come there and you feel wanted.
Yeah.
So with my story, I don't know if you're familiar with it, Kel, but I started at Stephen F. Austin. I walked on.
Yeah.
And then I went to junior college 2 years in Dallas, D3 JUCO at that. Mm-hmm. Then I got a scholarship at Prairie View. And it's nothing like a coach that believes in you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? and it leads to a lot of great performance on the floor. Once you know when you ain't looking at the bench, and somebody gonna sub you out. You know what I mean? And so, and I think that's a great point. Now, so and D-Pope, man, great question, because I think this is a big thing now, right now. Everybody want to do the HBCU thing, and I think that's only greater for the SWAC brand. I think more prevalently in football, but you see in basketball too, guys coming over. So you tell me, man, you be the first one to lay it out, man. What's the experience going to HBCU to you, in your opinion?
Man, see, so I had to kind of preface this by saying I went to a predominantly white high school.
Okay.
So when I first got there, it's like, oh, I didn't know how to act, because I ain't never seen that many black people together in one place. So at first it was a culture shock. After I accepted and after I kind of got more comfortable with it, it's a great feeling, man, because everywhere you look, from people that graduate their alumni to the people in high positions, they're like you. So I mean, you feel empowered, to say the least. That's the number one thing. But like you feel comfortable because everybody kind of knows a little bit of what you're going through. How y'all share somewhat of a similar background in some areas, if not most of them. But it just, I don't know. You feel, I wouldn't say if you feel exactly like family, but you feel like a part of a group. I mean, a group that welcomes you in. Damn near family. But like when you feel accepted by a lot of people because they know what you're going through and they've been through that, it speaks volumes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Hold on, man. You're looking too much taller than me. I don't like that. Hold on, let me get high. But no, so and that was my experience too. So I went to a black high school. Shout out to Eisenhower, swoop swoop, H-Town. Gotta shout out to the hood. But I went to Stephen F. Austin, which was a predominantly white school, and my JUCO was a melting pot. But PV, I said out of high school I would never go to PV. And when I went, like you said, it was love. It was like everybody was. Nah, I ain't gonna say everybody. Now it was a lot of N-words ish going on. Y'all say that slow. N-words ish.
Yeah.
So you got to understand. But what I learned is when you separate yourself from foolery and you work and you hang with your guys, meaning your basketball players normally, you avoid the crazy stuff. I mean, you know how I go on the HBCU campus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you generally avoid that by your associations or what have you. So a lot of people, and I say this because a lot of people feel like, oh, it's just all this negative stuff. And that is a part of it. I don't want to be here glossing over like that. It ain't no crazy stuff. But when you surround yourself with positive people, you tend to have positive outcomes. I think you can agree with that.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean,
Absolutely.
I think that's in life though. And so if you learn it at early age, then it's easier for you.
Absolutely, man. And I wouldn't take back my 2 years at Prairie View for anything, man. And I went back and got my master's degree, which probably shouldn't have, but shout out to student loan debt. But I think I wouldn't change that for anything. My experience, going to a school that my aunties went to, my mom went to, my cousins went to. I was like, I'll never go to Prairie View. Yeah. And you see what I'm rocking right now. So I like, your experience with that. So tell me, man, so once you left Alabama A&M, when did you think that the NBA was an opportunity that you could explore?
Man, before I left Alabama A&M, I thought it was an opportunity I could explore. That my junior year, I was actually thinking about coming out early, but then Coach Pettaway talked me into. He was like, "You don't know if they're gonna draft you. How I don't think they're gonna draft you." I honestly think I should have came out that year because my name was everywhere. Like from setting that record to lead the nation in blocks, like it was everywhere. So I honestly think I should have put my name in draft and kind of do what they do now and just kind of test the waters. But it's ever since my junior year when I broke the record, like the NBA was always was a thing that was in my ear. I mean, from coaches calling and just asking our assistant coach about me, that kind of stuff, and he would tell me. I mean, knowing that it would hype me up even more. But as soon as I heard that people was asking about me, that my name was hot, and I had the ESPN block party thing after I did set the record or whatever. Like it was nothing nobody could tell me then. I knew I was going to the NBA after that.
And I wanted for y'all coming late to the party. Appreciate y'all showing up. This man had 29 blocks in 2 games. 29 blocks in 2. I think I had 30 blocks for the whole year, and I averaged a block. That put me like, in the SWAC, they got the little rankings. Yeah. I was like top 10 in blocks in the SWACs. I had 30 blocks the whole year. This man had 29 in 2 games.
The separation in that category. I'm sorry, but when I was there,
that's real. No, that's real, man. And I, because I'm not gonna lie, I was hating from afar because I was like, man, fuck him, man. Like he because you were skinny. I mean, you was a skinny dude, and you were young, a little light in the ass. The way we perceived it.
Yeah.
So he's like, man, we about to dunk on this dude, and it didn't go like that. And I remember because y'all played Texas Southern first, and I remember Coach Rim was like, man, he had 17 blocks last game. He's like, damn, yeah, what?
That's still a crazy number to me too, man. I can't even lie. That's still a crazy number to me too. When people ask me like, how many blocks do you have when you set the record? Yeah, 16. What? People have 5 blocks and they're like, oh, that's a great game.
That's a great game. 16 blocks in one game, man. So I want to set this perfectly because this is the first time we've talked about this. Again, I know about Kel probably more than he know about me, but I'm sure my face is probably familiar to him. Man, he's been in my group, Hoop Jargon, and we've kind of been in light contact over the years or what have you. But no, we were very cognizant of what you did the night before, and then you only showed up to give 13 blocks to us. So, so it's like, damn, we ain't prepared for nothing. We just was succumbing to the same thing, man. So man, I want to know this too. So what did Van Pettaway tell you to stray you away from the NBA and come back for your senior year at Alabama A&M? I gotta hear this.
Man, he basically said that he didn't think I was ready. So when I got looked at him like, I wouldn't say like a father because I got my own father. I ain't need that. But he was a real important figure in my life, especially then. Like I said, when I first got there, he showed all the confidence in me. Like other people on the team, they couldn't joke with him, like where they felt afraid to joke with him. Yeah. I would joke with him, like I would mess around with him. Like, I mean, off the court, man, he really didn't say anything to me because he didn't have anything to worry about. But we had that banter that we can talk, and I can mess with him on the bus, like he would laugh, that kind of stuff. So that softer side that I got. So I took that advice seriously. It was like, okay, am I ready? Maybe because he was some other stuff I need to work on offensively and stuff like that. But if it was this day and age, it's like people get drafted off potential.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't think about that then, and I didn't know that then. I had a person to tell me that then. But bro, if this day and age, I would have been gone my junior year.
And I want to say this too. So at the time, now guys have the buffer now that if you get an agent, well, it was before. If you didn't get an agent, you could still declare and go back. Back when me and you played, that wasn't the case. You couldn't. If you declared, it was a wrap.
Yeah.
So it was a hard decision in your lap from an optic standpoint. So I will say that for those listening in. We got a comment.
Because like you said, I was small. I mean, I'm still not the biggest guy now, but I was real small then. So like me going into the draft and him like being like, you're not ready. Like you gotta get a better, more offensively. I mean, more better rounded offensively, more skilled offensively. You gotta put some weight on. Like putting all that stuff, the negative stuff in my ear.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it's negative, but it was also critique also. But
critique,
that could have been helped out because it's like when you get to the NBA, you got the top of the line nutrition, you got
Absolutely.
top of the line coaches, fitness coaches, and trainers and stuff. Like you got top of the line conditioning people. Like that changes. You see with Giannis. So I think that would have been taken care of, but I didn't know that. Like I didn't know that. I'm sure he didn't know that. Or if he did, he acted like he didn't know it. So I don't think the information is readily available as it is right now. But yeah, if I would have known that, I would have been gone for sure.
I mean, if we want to be honest, I mean, if you put, I mean, and I like Van because he was one of them stoic coaches. If y'all don't know, Van Pettaway was a guy. He was an old school kind of guy, and he's a straight brass tacks kind of guy.
Yeah.
And when he talked, people listen.
Yeah.
That's what I got from observing him from across the bench. So when he telling you as, like you say, a quasi father figure, you're attainable to listen. And if I'm him, I know I'm gonna lose Mickell Gladness. I'm gonna say whatever the hell I'm gonna say.
And the point where I think about it, I'm like, man, that's what he was doing, man. He was protecting his job. He was protecting school at least for another year. But you got, I mean, as a man, you got to respect that, man. Like that's his livelihood. So you got to respect that, man.
Hey, you live in Huntsville, Alabama. It ain't too much you can do. And coaching basketball and football are probably the two best things you can do in Huntsville, Alabama. I'm sure you can agree to that.
Yeah, I mean it's gotten a lot better though. The city
Fair
has
enough.
grown a lot since
All right.
I left.
I ain't been in a minute, so I'm gonna take you at your word. So okay, that's what's up. So Ghost says we need brother Mickell on the Lakers over Dudley. Hey, I'm a Laker fan. Please.
Man, you haven't heard how many times I've heard, oh, this guy's on the team because he's a good locker room guy. Like I've heard that from my Heat,
Really?
with the Heat, and they throw it around a lot. If you're around any kind of NBA circles, they keep veteran players, no matter if they play or not, because they're locker room presence and they've been in the league for a while, so they have a lot to kind of spread to the younger guys and show like work ethic and like be the example. So that's probably why he's there, man. I can't get mad at it because he still want to stay in the league because I used to. Like when my first year, like working out with the Heat and going to training camp with the Heat, Jamal McGlure was there. Called him Big Cat. Man, he could barely move. He could barely move, but he was there. Like he made the team over me that year. So I'm like, man, if he don't just go, like he been in the league for years. Like let the younger people get a spot, get a shot at it. Like get out of the league. But I mean, hey, I would stay in the league as long as I could have to.
Now, so and I'm glad we segued into the Miami Heat. So for guys listening, Mickell was on the Miami Heat team that started with the LeBron, not 1, not 2, not 3, and all those numbers. So you tell me, man. So you were inside the beginning of that Miami Heat dynasty. What did you see and what did you observe being a part of that, coming from an HBCU, or just not even that? Just what did you observe with that culmination of talent?
Man, at A&M, we watch film like the day of the game, maybe morning shoot around, or maybe like a little while before the game started, bro. But with the Heat, man, we watch so much film, just like position film, as far as like they would like pinpoint on the bigs and they would pinpoint on the guards. But you got players that watching film and play it. Like people talk about how smart LeBron is, right? So he knows I'm just assuming he watched so much film that because he always knew the plays. He knew the calls for the plays. He knew counters for the plays. He knew what people were gonna be when they were starting off, and defensively too. So that attention to detail from coming from HBCU, we barely watch film. It was crazy. and like just like I said, you have the top nutritionists and the top strength and conditioning coaches. We lifted A&M, but it was like we lifted during Christmas break when we had
same here. I'm with you.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If we lifted any time other than that, we were preseason, and we lifted with football coaches that didn't know anything about functional weightlifting and stuff for basketball.
That's facts.
So we in there doing the same thing football players do, and it's not helping us at all. You might get stronger, but you're gonna lose some flexibility. Like they don't know about all that stuff. But like when I got to the league and they were top of the line. They paid attention to detail from the time that you entered the building to the time you left. From all right, we gonna give you a minute water break. You get a minute, we back on the court. We're gonna do this drill for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we go get a water, we come back on the court. Like everything was timed in like on point. It was not organized at HBCU. It was nowhere near the organized HBCUs.
And yeah, so and I can even akin that to me playing at SFA, and it was a lot more structured. So my coach was Danny Casper, who he ended up getting fired from Texas State last year over some controversial stuff, but he was basically a Greg Popovich type coach. And so my freshman year, I was used to like a military system. So when I was at Prairie View, not so much. You know what I mean? It was just get it how you live. You know, not like we didn't work hard, we did, but it wasn't like to a T, like how it was. So I can only imagine on that level with that type of team. So let me ask you this. So when you saw how not maniacal, but just how focused the team was, did you see how successful? Could you kind of feel how successful that dynasty would be with D Wade, Bosh, and LeBron?
Yeah, man, they was so that was my first year, so I didn't know how to compare with other people and other teams.
That's fair.
Until I actually got to Golden State, but it was different beast. Like it was like I said, it was like clockwork, like machines just moving around. Especially when LeBron and D Wade and Chris and them got on the floor, they commanded respect, and then everybody else kind of lined up with them. Like it was business when you got on the floor, when you got on the court, from practice to like going down to the weight room, make sure you get your lift in. It like I never seen anything like that. Like, so I you can feel that it was different, even if I know I had nothing to compare it to, but you can feel it was different for sure.
Okay, and I like that too. And so what I want to ask you too is a lot of people think, well, people are like, it's a lot of conjecture about Coach Spo. So how was Coach Spo's system working with the work ethic of LeBron and D Wade and Bosh and what have you? So how was that dynamic?
He let them beat themselves, man. I mean, if you have a coach that's, I feel like some coaches try to impose their will on their players and make sure their set is run no matter what pieces are in their system. I think he adjusted well, and that's part of being a coach. That's the main part of being a coach, especially in the NBA. Like you're not coaching kids in the NBA for the most part. So you have to adjust to playing styles. You have to adjust to personalities. You have to adjust to different players that you have in those pieces. And he did that well, from changing altering plays a little bit to putting people in the right positions. I my hat's off to him, man. He was a really good coach.
And I tell people a lot, man. For Pat Riley to give him that much of clemency that early, that shows he had a lot of respect for what he could do. Yeah. And I tell this, because in this space, everybody can kind of dismiss coaches. That's like the easiest thing to do. And I tell people, sometimes the best coaches know when to step back.
Exactly.
A la Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
Phil Jackson knew, hey, I'm not here to coach you through every play. I got talent. Let me manipulate your mental, get you on the right plane at the right time, and let's ascend and win championships. So I do appreciate that comment, because a lot of people, whether they give Spo too much credit or mostly not enough credit,
yeah,
I think that's a great comment. So and shout out to my boy Will, man, my high school teammate. He asked you, man, what was your welcome to the NBA moment?
Think about that. On the court, or we talking about on the court or off the court?
Whatever you want to share, bro. You told me you're open book, man. So you go for it, bro.
Man, when you get done with the game, and well, actually no, before the game, and you have to get there 2-3 hours before the game, and you got to work out. Like I knew I wasn't playing, but then when you have to work out, like my individual workouts was harder than practice, bro. Like I would look forward to practice because my individual workouts were so hard before the game. Like it don't matter if we travel. Like if I'm not playing a certain amount of minutes, you got an individual workout before the game, and that was man, it was tough. But I saw myself get so much better because of it. But it was like this is a job. I mean, it's you love it, but this is a job also. Like you got to put the time in, and they make sure you put the time in if you're not playing. So I think that's one of them. On the court, off the court, I would say after a game when you already got your bags to carry, but then you got D Wade bags to carry, you got Juwan Howard bags to carry. You got to go get them coffee in the morning at Starbucks, the exact one they like. So it was fun, and I think that was the least of my worries as far as hazing. Like nobody really did anything bad to me.
I mean, you 7 foot at the end of the day,
but still, man, these guys, like you got to remember, I was with a veteran. Like we was pretty.
That's fair.
We was pretty stacked with veterans, but it wasn't even that bad. I would do it all over again, bro, because it was stuff that I didn't mind doing. Like if you mind walking to the store to get a coffee, or you mind carrying a couple bags, they wouldn't like they was weighing them down. Or if you mind, like late at night they call you, be like, can you go do something for me? Like if you care about doing that stuff, you ain't gonna make it that long, because at the end of the day, relationships make the NBA go around. Relationships make the world go round, and I mean, it wasn't no skin off my nose to go do that stuff, especially when you getting a little kickback.
No, and that's real, and I think that's good that they took care of you for you handling the rookie duties and things of that nature. I think that's what's I mean, because it's almost like an apprenticeship. Yeah. With anything, you learn the craft. Somebody's willing to, I guess put the little menial jobs on you, and then okay, you did this for me. Let me show you how this goes, youngin. And that's how it goes. That's how life goes in any capacity. And I will say the individual workouts, man, and my boy Between the Game Sports can attest to this. He played at SFA after me. We went to the same high school, same time. Uh-huh. He went to Blinn, JUCO, and then when I left, he went to SFA. And the individual workouts was way harder than anything else. Like, because he ran his shit like, so he was a pupil of Greg Popovich. Mm. So he ran a Popovich style thing in college. So individuals was the hardest thing we've done, like regular practice, game, whatever.
Yep.
Individuals was the hardest. So it's funny you bring that up because a lot of people don't have that intimate knowledge or understanding because it's tough. And great coaches, what they do is they say like, man, I'm gonna make practice so hard that the game feel like practice. The game feel like playground time, and it's so true, man. It's so true. Okay, so Carol, so we talked about the Miami Heat. We talked about your ascension from Alabama A&M HBCU. So tell me, after Miami didn't work out, tell me about Golden State and from that point forward.
I think Golden State gave me confidence because we didn't have many people. Like everybody that was there when if they were there during my time, they got hurt. The guys that was ahead of me, so I got a chance to play a lot. So that further showed me that I had what it took to be on that level. Even though we didn't constantly win all the time, but it's like, okay, I'm holding my own against these guys, no matter what we had on our team, but the stuff I was able to do defensively against other teams, and also like I started to gel with some of those guys. But like I said, it showed me that I belong on that level for sure.
So who was on your Golden State team?
It was Clay and Steph, but Steph had got hurt, and so he got surgery that year. He came back and tried it out, and it wasn't healing right. So then he had to step back off. But Clay, Steph, Nate Robinson was on my team. David Lee was on my team. Richard Jefferson was there. Who else do we have? Andrew Bogut was there. That's when he had just got traded for. He just got traded from Milwaukee. Who else did we have?
Was Barbosa there?
No, Barbosa wasn't there. No, Barbosa.
Okay. What about Monte Ellis?
Andrew Beardrum was there. No, that's who Andrew Bogut got traded for.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
That's when he went to Milwaukee.
Andrew Beardrum, I remember him.
Yep. So we and like I said, and Jeremy Tyler, Mikey Moore came later on in the year.
Mikey Moore.
So yeah, we had a decent squad, but it was plagued with injuries, and then we had a lot of young guys after that. I think we set a record for I think we started all rookies that year for the last game.
So now you are a rare person who's been a part of two, you can say dynasty or just great teams.
Yeah.
What did you see the difference between how the Warriors went about? I know you caught the Warriors early, and you got Miami when they were prime, ready to go. Did you see anything that was different fundamentally about how they went about business and how Miami went about business?
See, like I said, Miami was everything was timed, everything was scheduled. It was more of a business. Like Golden State had fun with everything. It was a family when I got there because Mark Jackson was our coach, so he knew everything. He knew a lot of stuff. So he was a player's coach. He played the game, and so it was a totally different atmosphere there. But I think it was more fun and more youthful in Golden State, and I'm sure that's how they continued it because that's Steph. Like he play around. He gonna knock down shots, but he gonna play around. He gonna shoot stuff like he in the backyard. But that's him. So that was the big difference to me. I feel like they were more youthful. They looked at the game from different perspective as far as more fun, and the more fun we have, the better we play. The better we play, the more games we win, the more together we are. So I think that's the two different biggest differences between the two teams.
And I can see that, and it looked that way on the court. It looked like Golden State just was having fun. It looked like just fun. Okay, so you were there with Golden State. Were you there with Kwame Brown?
No. I think it was the year after me.
Okay, yeah, after you. Okay. All right, so you got with Golden State. So walk me through your career after that point. So this is what year are we in now? This is year, what, 4? Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah, 4 or 5. So I went to Golden State. After that, I'm like, okay, I was seen when I was in the D League. That's how I got my shot. Because after that, I went to a D League elite camp, and that's how Miami saw me, and they would invite me for a workout. So I'm like, I was seen then, and that's how I kind of got my further exposure into the league. So I just go back to the D League. I'll go back to D League for a year or two, however long it takes. I'll get back. Don't worry. My agent was telling me like you getting hot, like you hot right now. You might want to go overseas, make that money. And during the summer, it was always people getting invited for workouts.
but I always have the thing of out of sight, out of mind, and I kind of second guess that regret that a little bit now. But yeah, so I went to D League for a few years. I went to the Warriors D League. Well, actually no, what's the first team I went to? Yeah, I went to the Warriors D League team. Played a little bit, then well, actually played a lot. But then, I don't know if you know about D League that if somebody sends their players down from the NBA, they get priority over you. They say it's not like that, and they say like okay, they don't get guaranteed minutes, but it happens. Like regardless of this guarantee in the contract, written or unwritten, it happens all the time. So then I got pushed a little bit down to from starting to man off the bench, and I was still doing my thing. But after a while, I'm like, okay, when I got have to make this, stop making this sacrifice as far as financially, and just go ahead and go overseas. I was having my first child at that time, around 2014, 2013. About to have my first child, and so I'm like, okay, I'll go overseas, and like I said, I'll play the odds of maybe I'll get a workout after that. Maybe I'll get a training camp invite after that. I just got to do my thing overseas. Went overseas my first year. Actually, in between the D League season and like when the regular season starts up, I went to China to their summer league. That was tough because first time, well, away from my family, out of the States. The conditions aren't the best in China. I mean, my teammates didn't speak English. It was just me and the translator. Like he would order food for me. I guess he felt like he had to be my friend or something. He had to talk to me because he spoke English. But I'm like, man, bro, just let me go to my room. let me go to my room. When I go to my room, I'm just gonna play Xbox, come away, eat, go to sleep, bro. Like I don't need you to talk to me all this. I don't need you to keep texting me.
That's real.
I got friends.
That's real.
That's not your problem. But it was just tough because of that. But I made it. It was only like 3 months anyway, so it was fine. After that, I went to Australia. Took my wife and newborn son. That was a great experience. Australia is.
You playing for the BBL?
Yeah, no. Australia NBL at that time.
NBL. I'm so sorry. Yeah. That's the league the Miller Ball play for. Okay, gotcha.
So that was a great experience. I mean, besides it, it was another stepping stone for me because I had to get used to physicality, and I think that equipped me to deal with the physicality in Europe better. Because I think they were tougher over there. Like, people growing up playing rugby and stuff like that. And Australian rules football, like they just know bang. Like they just want to hit something. So it don't matter if they had the ball or not. So I got used to that, and it was like, okay, I gotta get a little bit stronger this year. After that, I went to after Australia. I went to Israel. Still.
No. Let me stop you right there because you. Now I want to hit this, guys. For y'all know he hitting all these countries that pay. So in that circuit, when you China pays, Australia pays, and that's NBA level talent like David Anderson, Patty Mills, even LaMelo played with Aaron Brooks. Y'all know Aaron Brooks from Oregon and the Rockets. He went over to play with him. Josh Boone played on that team who went to Connecticut. He kind of looked like a poor man's Joakim Noah. Yeah. So Kel playing like real leagues now. With me, I played Portugal, Germany, Switzerland. He playing money leagues. So I just want to kind of juxtapose it the right way because he glossing over these leagues like these ain't legit leagues. Man, so I want y'all to understand what he's talking about. So go ahead, brother.
You gotta understand this all I know, man. So I know some people's experience. So all I know for sure is mine. I know mine like the back of my hand. But you're right. These are really good leagues because keep in mind, like NBA was always still in my mind. It was like, let me make as much money as I can. If I can't get back to the NBA, then I want to be in good leagues. But if I'm thinking about getting back to the NBA, this was advice from my agent. If you want to get back to the NBA, you have to play in respected leagues. So therefore, if you want to make that jump back, they're not looking at your stats like this is nothing. Like we can get this from somewhere else. So I had to once again prove myself, even while I was overseas. But after Israel, I went to Estonia after that. I left Israel early because I wasn't playing like I feel like I should have.
What club you play for out there in Israel?
Maccabi Ashdod.
Okay, because that's the same league with Maccabi Tel Aviv, right?
Yes.
Okay,
We
gotcha.
played them, and I actually think we beat them one time. We played against them, but it was like I was on the back burner. Like I wasn't starting, and that's not. I say that, but that's not a big thing for me. But it was like I wasn't as important on the team. I like to feel wanted. Like when I read a book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and it said the number one need for people is to feel needed and to feel wanted. So I didn't feel that, man. So if I don't feel that, then my performance drops. If my performance drops, then I need to rethink things. Because like I said, I was trying to get back to the league, so now it's time for me to leave. So I took a job in Argentina just for like a month or two for the playoffs. The top team ended up getting hurt. The next year, of course, since I got hurt, then that people started questioning things. It was just my groin, but that's a nagging injury in itself. So I went to Estonia, and Estonia was great. But I went to Estonia because they played in the Russian league, the VTB. So I wanted to,
I remember Estonia.
Every year I want to get better. I want to get more money. I want to play against better talent. I want to prove myself every single time. So I went to Estonia just because, like I said, they played against the Cheska Moscows. They played against the Kimkis, like the teams that's in Euro.
Yeah.
So I want to be where they at. So I gotta if this team plays where they are, I want to play against them. I guess it's kind of the same thing I did with college, because going to a smaller school, but I still got to play against the top talent, and I just got to prove myself once again. So after the VTB, I actually led the VTB league in blocks, and so it was late, and I was a second thought because somebody else came over there and didn't produce and didn't do what they were supposed to do, going out to clubs and doing all the stuff where
you know how that game go.
Yeah. If the captain don't like you, bro, if the players don't like you, you out. Like sooner or later, you're gonna be out.
And then let me say this, Carol, and I want to back the story up. When I left my first team in Portugal, I literally so I went to the worst team in my division.
What team was this? I played in Portugal a few years ago.
I played for CTM Villa Polka de Aguiar, which we were trash. We played in the Pro Liga.
I don't think they even there anymore.
No, we were garbage. And I remember we played against Benfica. You know Benfica? No, Vitória.
That's what I played for, Benfica.
Benfica. I played against them, Vitória.
Okay.
So I played against Vitória. They had a guy named Eddie Tommy. He played at Ole Miss. 6'8" ox. Bro, we lost them twice. First time we lost to them by 30. Last time we lost to them by like 20. I had 20 points, like 18 rebounds, and we lost by like 20. And the president blamed the game on me.
Oh, I know how that is. I know how that is for sure.
I'm out. I left.
But see, that's I don't think people understand it about overseas ball. Like, if you win, they did a great job coaching. The team is good.
Oh yeah.
If you lose, imports, it's y'all fault.
Yep.
That's how it is.
Absolutely.
I had a similar story, bro. I had like China is, I call it hero ball because you play like they give you the ball and it's like, all right, win this game for us. So I think I had like 20 and 17, maybe 5 blocks, and we only won by like 7 to this military team that had couldn't get any imports. And I'm like, I did that. Like that. I think that's probably one of my, as far as stats wise, one of my best games, and we only won by 7. Yeah. Like, what else am I supposed to do? I ain't doing nothing. What else can I do? It ain't nothing else I can do. Like I exceeded my own expectations during that game.
Hey, I'm gonna give you another horror story. So during that time, I had a guy on my team with a broken right hand. Of course, he's right-handed. Still playing. It's starting. Now he was good. Don't get me wrong, but if your right hand is broken, and it's basically bro. You know how Gronkowski played with the little thing that was like.
You can't do that in basketball though. You need that. You need all your fingers for the touch.
Come on, man.
To catch the ball. Like
come on. So I'm like, you giving me this to work with?
Yeah.
And you saying we should beat Vitória with the best team in the league? And this is what and then the spin was because we went out drinking the night before, and it got reported that we was drinking, and that was the reason why we lost. I'm like, no. Last time we played Vitória, we lost by 50. So no, that's not the reason why we lost. So, but to your point, that's how it can go with that overseas point. And I tell people all the time, and I bring it up, it's not to brag, but like when you're an American it's different than the NBA. The NBA, everybody's American, obviously. So there's expectation that it's a little more, it's tempered. It's tempered a little more like fluidly. But overseas, if you're the American, you're supposed to be Jordan. If you ain't Jordan, you wasting their money in their eyes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, that's real talk. So, man, I gotta ask this question, man. So you walked us through playing for Miami, playing for Golden State, seeing both of those two baby dynasties be to fruition. You go to Estonia, you go to Tel Aviv, you go to Australia, China. As a conglomeration, we're gonna get to the last part, which is gonna be life stuff. Who are your best? I mean, if you can give 3 of your best players you played against or with, who would you put there with?
Of course, LeBron. I got to put all them 3: LeBron, Chris, and D Wade. You got to put all them 3 right there.
Okay. All right. So what about against then?
Against DeMarcus Cousins. This guy named what's his last name? What's his first name? Of course, Andrew Bynum at that time, he was great.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh. But he was great. I'm trying to think of guys overseas. Because Maccabi Tel Aviv had a guy that was really good. You probably ain't, I can't even think of his name right now though. I'm drawing a blank, but it's a pretty good amount of guys. I could think of a lot of guys in the NBA. But
let's give me one more NBA guy then.
Huh?
You said Boogie. You said
Andrew Bynum.
Bynum, and give me one more.
Tim Duncan.
Oh shit!
Man, he blocked my shot one time without even jumping. I'm like, what? How did I know it's that's an old man trick, but I'm like, bro, he just saved so much energy, and I'm trying to jump as high as I can. He blocked my shot. I'm like, come on, man.
That timing, man. Yeah, it's different. Yeah,
this is different.
And I would say, man, my top 3, I would say,
with my headphones.
Cartier Martin.
Yep, played against him.
I played him in high school, all through high school. He's from Houston. Hardest pro I probably guarded because he's 6'8", can do everything. One of my worst is PJ Tucker, actually. PJ Tucker was terrible.
They don't hook up.
But PJ Tucker's still doing his thing, so he get a lot of respect from me, moving forward. LaMarcus Aldridge. I couldn't do nothing with that. Oh, my God, I couldn't go with L.A. And third.
Was he that skilled in high school?
Oh, no, I played him at UT.
Oh, okay.
I played him and PJ Tucker at UT.
Okay.
We lost by 72. I was at Prairie View.
They're real. Hooked up to my black backpack to the left.
And I'll go my third one, probably Maurice Spates at Florida.
Okay. I played against him pre-draft, so I didn't meet him during my college years.
Yeah, he was because I got kind of messed over my senior year because I didn't get to. We played Florida. I didn't play Noah Richards. Well, Noah Richards or Horford because coach. I literally went from starting to like not playing in the. I'll leave it out the chat, but it was hilarious. But during conference, I went from never coming out the game, so it was one of the things. But yeah, so okay, so you went against Space doing that. So I mean, Space was a damn good player, man. He was hella athletic. Oh, yeah. When he got to the Warriors, he's kind of a fat boy, so he kind of was a skilled guy.
Yeah.
When he got to the Warriors, yeah. So. Okay, so we talked about the NBA experience. We talked about the top players you played. Let's talk about right now because, as we know, there's a mortality for NBA players. And they say you die a few times as an athlete. You die when you die, and then you die as an athlete. So how old are you now, Kel?
35.
35, so I'm 37. Where are you at right now in that paradigm?
See, I'm in, like, isn't like you don't look into the light? I'm right there. I'm right there because it's like I don't want it to be over, bro. But it's like we talked about this before. I haven't, and up until Big 3 this year, or a few weeks ago, I hadn't played organized ball for over a year. So what was that? February 2020 is the last time I played. I played basketball like on the
Hold on,
team.
hold on. Before you go there, I want to give you flowers, man. You played in the Big Three recently. Talk about the Big Three real quick. Now, I don't want to dismiss the Big Three. Talk about your Big Three experience, sir.
Man, you see it on TV, and I had a few friends that was in it, and I'm like, man, I just I wanted to get in it. I wanted to get in it after I left, or that was my plan after I left Japan. I was planning on getting in the Big Three. I'm just kind of like an off season thing, 'cause that's what some people do. They get in the off season, and then you take a little break, and then you go right back overseas. You kind of double dipper, if you will. But man, it's different. It's a lot different. Like you got different rules as far as the 4 point plays. Like the referees call the game differently. They let you play. I think my dad watched the Big Three, my first game I played in, and he was like, "Man, that was a great streetball game." Because man, like especially at the end of the game, like they let everything go. It was like slapping, clawing, people diving on the floor. Like you get that in some instances overseas, and you get it like that, but it's not. They call some places call the game like they calling for their sons, and they try to call everything. And some places just let things go like Australia, but this was totally different. And of course, like people think of three on three basketball, like okay, it's gonna be a little bit easier. Nah, especially as far as like being in shape, like you
No,
got to
hell
be in
no.
shape because you don't have help on this side. If they play
You got
pick
to
and roll,
guard.
like you a duck in the like you know what I'm saying, like you dead in the water.
That's facts.
But it's a full size court, just half court. And when you have people that can shoot 4 point shots, like that stretches the floor out tremendously. So you got to cover ground. So I mean, it was a good experience. And I also think like we used to practice as far as like when I was overseas and just in general, we used to practice playing on three against pick and rolls and stuff like that. So it gets you ready for now. It's a little bit easier because you got the extra defender when you start playing 5 on 5. So it made me really push myself and like really get my mind right, and get back into rhythm defensively, to think about the kind of stuff I hadn't thought about in a while. That I've been sitting at home or playing 1 on 1 against somebody or doing drills. Like it's totally different. So I like getting in that atmosphere, with other pros and other people. You think they don't have it no more, but like mentally up here, but they got years on you, so it's totally different. When you go into playing against people that are athletic, but they don't have the experience. But these people might not be athletic, but like they hold you in places where you can't, where the referees can't see because they know exactly where the referee gonna be at. They know how to when to bump you when you're trying to jump, to get a rebound or whatever you're gonna do. Just subtle things. So it was a great experience, and they took care of us. Like it was, I felt almost like I was in the NBA all over again, to an extent. As far as they had like how they had us travel and then like where we stayed, that kind of thing. But it was nice, man. I really enjoyed it.
And that's good to hear because we don't get a lot of Big Three feedback. So would you say it's going to be a league that's going to be sustained and going? I mean, it's been like 4 years,
Yeah.
so far. So you think that's going to be something that's going to be continued as a staple in in our popular culture in basketball?
I think so because I mean you got the WNBA during summer, but not no knock against WNBA, but they're still not as popular as they should be in my opinion, or as they because some people just not gonna watch the women's basketball just for that fact there's women's basketball. But so you got someone to fill that gap even after they're playing. You got someone to fill that summer basketball gap where it's like I got that itch, man. I want to see some basketball. Summer league ain't came up yet. WNBA ain't really watched that. Playoffs over. Like, what do I do? That's what you watch. So I think it'll be there for a while. COVID last year not playing, it hurt them a little bit, but I really see the growth in them coming back to probably actually better than more than they were before, more popular. I think it'll be there for a while for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. And I appreciate the product that Ice Cube put out, man, giving guys opportunity to still entertain past
Yeah,
your death, your
yeah,
basketball death, which is the NBA. And so I
yeah,
think, excuse me, I think it's a tremendous thing, because most of us who hoop, that's damn near all we know
yeah,
is to be ball players. Because why? Like you said, it's a job. Even from college, it's a job. And I tell
hmm
people all the time, "Oh, you got a scholarship." I'm like, "Okay, miss practice for a study hall one time and see how that works out for you. It won't work
Yep.
out well, and we all know that to be so. So as we wrap up, and we're gonna get to the last part of life beyond hooping potentially. And I gotta ask this too, because I got a lot of followers of family. Do you follow the Ball brothers any?
I don't, man. Like I think it was at first I was like, man, I don't like I gotta see what he's doing. Like I don't know, does he have the right motive? I always see people trying to like when you when I've been in this industry and in the game for so long, you see people trying to live through their kids. I don't like that. So I kind of had to fill them out at first. So I didn't watch them or anything associated with them and their father because of their father at that time.
Okay.
But as I gave him a chance, like I like what he's doing. I like what he's done. I'm a fan now. But he had to win me over at first. So I've started. I watched some of the shows. I've seen the Ball brothers play now. Like I'm intrigued. Well, I was intrigued at first, and he's done a good job with managing them and getting them to the right spots and getting them exposure. So I like it.
And I would say this too, man. When I told LeVar this to his face, I was like, when I first heard of you, I didn't care for you. Like I was like, it sounded like because the term helicopter parent.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
to me, that sounded like a helicopter parent situation. And if you played at a high level like me, I mean, at a way high level. But you know how that is. That's like that on Inception. That sounds like a program killer. But then I was like, you know what? Let me just listen to what he's saying. And when I started listening to what he said, I'm like, what's wrong with that? Now, sometimes he can get a little over the top, and I told him that. But at the end of the day, you know how the NBA is, bro. It's I call it the 1% of 1%. 1% of high schoolers go to Division I level. Of that level, 1% go to the NBA. He's produced damn near 3.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you can say what you want to say. His formula works.
He's
However
doing
you
something
want to
right.
shake that out. You doing something right. You produced 3, and you shot called it. It ain't like you just humbly did it. You told him, yo, Jello coming next. Yo, Melo gonna be the best.
Yeah.
And Melo only was what, rookie of the year last year. So I mean,
he spoke into existence for sure.
He spoke into existence. Okay, so I want to get you a little bit of opinion there because I got a lot of followers of the family that follow my stream. So I did want to get your opinion. So I appreciate you being straight up. And last part, man. So you got this great career from JUCO to Alabama A&M, to the NBA, to overseas, to the Big 3.
Yeah.
Where are you right now in life?
I've been trying to figure it out for the past year and a half, man. I mean, when I devoted so much time and so much energy, sacrifices into what I love to do, basketball, for so long, like that's all I know. Like people say that you shouldn't have that. That's not you. That's not your identity. But what else is? You know what I mean? So still trying to figure it out. Not at for a while. I'm like, okay, what else do I do? I mean, it's still like I'm still, but my wife told me to like pick something, go with it. It's not the end all be all. But I think that I had that attitude because like the one thing I went with after college was basketball, and that I didn't have to make any more any hard choices for real that didn't involve basketball. So now to have to go outside of that realm and figure out who Mickell is without basketball or who Mickell will be, it's hard. I mean, I know I have more to offer, and I've always been smart, and I've always been very observant of other people and things and kind of stuff like that. But I put that into basketball, so I deposited that into basketball. So it's now like, where do I go from here? But I mean, I figured it. I'm starting to figure out. I'm on the path to, I guess, discovering new me, self-discovery, and I think everybody needs it, and everybody kind of goes through that, in a way, whether it's a career that you've been doing for a while, and you kind of got to let it go, or a person that you've been with. So I think it's a good thing and a bad thing that COVID kind of slowed things down for me. Yet I still would kind of change things, and I still want to play basketball. I can't say that's over, but it's good that I had to slow down and kind of think about things from different perspectives, and really start to dive into what I look like after basketball and what my life looks like.
And what you're going through is what all of us go through who played at a certain high level. I mean, we can set the bar at college. and go from there because you've been known to be one entity for so long. One of the biggest things for me, I would say, is I went from being Cliff the Hooper to being Cliff Hoop Jargon. And I've been Cliff Hoop Jargon for about 10 years now. And and some people think I got an ego. I'm like, no, when I had an ego, I was a basketball player. That's when I thought I was somebody. That's when I thought I was nice. And I don't care what my stats said. Like I got you remember Trey Johnson, right?
Oh yeah.
From Jackson State. I got so me when I played Jackson, I had like 16 and 10 or some shit like that. And I had like 4 dunks, and one of them I dunked on him. Well, he was help sided, so you know how that game go. That got me overseas. So I went from like when I was like, yeah, I got Trey Johnson, you know what I'm saying, to like now I'm like a regular ass dude. It's a tall ass regular dude who look like Lamar Odom. That's what I'm now. I'm the Lamar Odom incarnate. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
that's reality.
You get Lamar Odom. I get RZA from Wu-Tang. I'm like, I can get anybody else, bro. Anybody else, bro. Yeah.
You like a 7-foot RZA, bro. That's true. That's true. Damn, son. That's funny as hell.
Like I can't. Okay. I can't get anybody else, man.
You do like RZA, brother. You know what? I ain't like Odom, but I was like, all right, man, I gotta live. I ain't help my ball headed too. So
hey, yours better than mine, man.
I got it, man.
Make sure you brush your teeth and stuff. That'll be it.
All right, so I know you putting the little ones to sleep, man. I got one last question, man, before we peace out, man. And so shout out to Mad Hat, man. Great follower of the channel, man. Any advice to young athletes who are reaching the stage where colleges will be scouting them? He said, all my little cousins are natural athletes. I try to help them with maturation. So what kind of advice you got to up-and-coming athletes?
I know it's a cliche, but don't be afraid of the process, man. Don't be afraid of humble beginnings. Because, like, you look where I started JUCO. Like, this wasn't even like a highly ranked JUCO. To A&M, which it was a step up, but it still wasn't like, like the Power 5 schools, Power 5 conferences to the NBA, like from D League to the NBA. So, like, it's a process. All of it is a process. You can't be afraid to work. That's one thing. And I think my my attitude about it really helped me to deal with it from the ups and the downs. Like I looked at it like, okay, every little step I took, I got better and better. I got more just to the game. From college, from high school, I went to junior college, which was like a little step above. Like it was like a better high school, if you will, as far as competition. So I was able to kind of it helped me to work my way into it. And from there, I went to a small D1, which also helped me work my way to another level. I think people look at small beginnings and like going to a small school or what have you as like a knock on them. It's so many people that's like, maybe they didn't see you. I didn't play AAU, so maybe they didn't see you. You never know how they missed you, but when you get the opportunity, make sure they know that they did miss you. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that I would give people, because I think people look at like I said, people look at small beginnings as if they can get out of it, or as if people think less of them or lower them just because that's where they started, and they bottom out because of that. Their attitude changes because of that. Like, oh man, I can't get out of here. But one thing my high school coach always told me is that if you're good, they'll find you. Sooner or later, they'll find you. And that's what happened to me, and I'm sure that's what happened with a lot of kids.
No, that's real. And I guess what I would put on top of that is I'm just like Kel, man. Like I wasn't a highly recruited guy out of high school per se. I had a very successful team. We were number 10 ranked team in Texas in 5A. I put myself in position to walk on at Stephen F. Austin. I went to JUCO, and then I sent my film out to everybody who would watch it. And Prairie View bought, University of Hawaii bought on it, Texas Southern University bought on it, and Sam Houston. And Prairie View offered a scholarship, so that's where I went. When I went overseas, my numbers weren't like Kel's. Kel's, he did his thing. He killed it. Mine was all right. But I sent my shit to everybody who would look at it. And that's when YouTube was just first cracking. Y'all look at y'all type in my name, Cliff Franks. You see me, my video playing against Jackson State. It was a 10-minute clip. They told me to make a 10-minute clip, and I so happened to have a hell of a 10-minute clip. playing against the best team in conference, and they got me overseas. I would show that shit to anybody who would watch it. And I got me and 2 of my teammates overseas. Yeah. You got to just put yourself out there, man. And you can't just think somebody just going to find you in your little cove like you saying. If you can hoop, they'll find you, but then sometimes your program may not be big enough. So you got to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid for the no. Go for the no. I'm a salesman now, so put yourself out there, and you never know who's watching you, and you'll never know who. That's why I got my interview with LeVar Ball. Yeah. His assistant watch my channel, which ain't huge, but I put myself out there. So that's why I love interviews with doing shit with Kale, because again, the HBCU movement is out there. So it's about to be at the front, you know what I'm saying? And people like, you know, him going to NBA straight from HBCU, people like myself who more of the undercurrent talent that did it. It's gonna be popping, man. And it's all about exposure. You put yourself out there to be vulnerable, because you never know who's observing you, man. So that would be my information to put on top of Kale's, you know, from being so highly successful in this field, man. And so, man, we about to wrap it, man. Anything you want to say before we peace out?
He asked. I mean, just to Matt had. You gotta. The young guys, they think that they have to have everything. I mean, you do have to be well rounded, or you should be well rounded. But I got there by playing my role to the best of my ability, because at the end of the day, they're going to have somebody, like, especially to get to the NBA, they're going to have somebody to shoot. They're going to have somebody that run the plays and dribble. So don't be afraid to play your role. And when you play your role, play it to the best of your ability. I mean, don't shy away from it, because you feel like you're not the star of the team. I was never the star of the team until I got to him. But, like, you'll get your shot. So I think when you get a role and you do something well, do that. Make that your calling card. Make that something that, okay, if they talk about, like now, if you talk about shot blockers in college or just shot blockers in general, you got to talk about me. So it's the same thing with anybody else in any other position, but it don't happen if I don't take pride in that.
That's real, and I can attest. 29 shot blocks in 2 games. I live that. This man got I give flowers with. All right, sorry about that. Damn, I dropped out. Kale, you there?
Yeah, I feel you.
Shit. All right, yeah. So it dropped out, but I'm back. So appreciate 47. Amazing information. Yeah, man. So again, that's why I want to Kale on, and we've been working on this for probably about 2-3 years. So I'm glad he was down to just boom, knock it out. The pandemic probably helped me out a little bit, man. Because again, man, in the HBCU, there are a lot of us who make it to the NBA level, the NFL level, the Michael Strahans, the Walter Paytons, the Steve McNairs. We can keep naming them. Jerry Rice, basketball, Lindsey Hunter, Mickell Gladness.
Trey Johnson made it.
Who? Trey Johnson, yeah. Trey Johnson. It's a lot of guys from the NBA. I'm sorry, for the HBCU level. We can keep going. Flip Murray, yeah. What's that dude name? He played for Norfolk State. He played for the Knicks. He got that big old beard.
Kyle O'Quinn.
Kyle O'Quinn.
I played with him in Orlando. Yeah.
Kyle O'Quinn. Yeah, man. So it's so many these stories out here, and I think my job is to show y'all that these are real people. These ain't just names on a roster. These are real people, and some of them who I may have played against or who I've seen, who I coached against. And a great story I love to tell is Dame Lillard. When I left Prairie View, I went overseas. We played against Weber State, and Dame Lillard didn't even start for Weber State, and he ended up being one of the best point guards, probably, arguably in the NBA. I watched him when he wouldn't even start. You know what I'm saying? So everybody got a background story, and that's the beautiful thing about this, man. So, Kel, I appreciate you, bro. I wish the best with you with your next endeavor, man. Yeah, man. So I gotta have you on again, man, when time permits. And again, lastly, you got anything before we peace out?
No, man. I mean, just use me as an example. I mean, work hard. That's all. That's what I can say. If you want to look at somebody who been through the struggle, or I mean, if you hit me up on Instagram, I always try to answer those questions. Or if you want to talk, I mean, keep working.
There it is. Short and to the point. So till next time, y'all, appreciate y'all who patronize the page. Really, y'all make this work. Because I do this on my off. This is my off day. I've done three videos today because I love to help y'all learn about this stuff, man. For real, man. I mean, I make good money doing what I do outside of this, but I really do love doing this. And Carol, I appreciate you so much, brother.
No problem.
All right, y'all.
The shout out
Next
Hoop Jargon, man.
time.
I'm gonna add you to the crew, man. This crew called Hoop Jargon. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority are all Houston people. So that's
Shout out to Hoop Jargon. Shout out to
Hoop Jargon.